Hello everybody, welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble, which at this time is still catching up with XCOM 2 in terms of gameplay series. It's on par with Prey and of course already done the re-uploads because of the previous syncing issues that the channel had with Rumble. Basically I managed to also publish episode 24 of XCOM 2, 300 plus mods. It was a long one, it was a tough one, but I will leave it to you if you want to explore that. But yeah, it was a fun one regardless. Today I will publish a Prey episode. We'll keep on chugging on the Talos one, and it's a very good game. It's really one of the most underrated games of that year, I think 2017. But yeah, I will at this moment, again, as the channel update mentioned, by the end of this week I will try to get a decision on the additional game from the gameplay series to be active, and just give it a watch on the channel update so you can catch up with all the things that I'm trying to get around and do, especially on the gameplay series there, because it isn't changed. The fact that I will do, as long as there is news to cover that interested me, I will always do every day the episode of the daily news. And again, the only time of the week that I take a day off, it's usually Sunday, mainly because the news are very slow, and at least I got to rest my head on regarding all the daily videos here. But yeah, and again, of course, you got all this social stuff here that you can go about and do also some extra support. We got already starting seeing a lot of stuff regarding the upcoming CES. I think it comes around between the 8th and 12th of January. On the 8th, we got the big thing that everybody is waiting for, which is the NVIDIA GPU Super Series. Again, we already have a lot of details, especially regarding specs. The most interesting one from all the three seemingly is the RTX 4070 Ti Super. I think it's how it's called. Mainly because he has more additions in terms of CUDA cores, most increase, I think almost 20% or around that in terms of CUDA cores. It consumes a little bit more energy, of course, and has an additional 4 gigabytes of VRAM, so 16 gigabytes of VRAM. I think that will be the most interesting of the three, because the 4080 is just an uplift around, I think, 5 to 10% in terms of gaming performance, and the 4070 Super is also like a very small uplift in terms of performance regarding the previous, and there is no other kind of thing there. It has some, just an update on CUDAs, but it's very marginal, so I don't think it will have a huge uplift in terms of performance. I think the one to watch from all the three is the 4070 Ti Super, or Super Ti, I forget the order that they put there. The only thing that worries me is the prices. We might see some interesting prices, mainly on the GPUs that are going to be replaced with this Super Series. That I think it's the most interesting thing. We'll see if there is like what kind of price movement is going to be. But yeah, here we start also seeing some Samsung introducing OLED monitors. At this moment in time, OLED's still a little bit expensive, and depending on the usage of monitors, I still recommend IPS monitors, mainly because for me, I do mixed workloads. I do some gameplay, mainly for the channel, and sometimes for myself, and I watch some movies here and there and some series, but I do a lot of production work, so sometimes it tends to be a very static thing in my workspace, so that's why I'm not very interested in OLED, mainly because of burn-in issues. The technology seems to be advancing here and there in terms of preventing burn-in from OLEDs, but still even if I jump into one of those, yeah, it's a little bit expensive for overall, from especially from the production that I do. I assume it will be, you can notice a huge jump in terms of quality image, mainly colors and the blacks and the whites. I think it's the ones that you notice more. But I tend to use a very good environment around me, especially in terms of illumination. So IPS is pretty decent for me. I don't notice any difficulties of distinguishing colors. It's pretty good. And at the moment, again, I have the M28U from Gigabyte, pretty good. Don't have any issues in terms of performance. Is excellent. I got it from stock, and I don't notice like any kind of issues with that. The yellows are yellows. Those kind of colors for me, at least for what I do, in terms of I don't need a very technically accurate in terms of color gamut and everything. So the M28U for me it's very good, but probably in the future, I don't know, 2-3 years or 5 years, I don't know, we'll see. I might, if things go well, might buy a second monitor. I don't know if depending when I buy that monitor, I might have like a dual setup. I don't know. I might get or the same model, another M28U, because they are very cheap and they are very good, especially out of the box. You don't need to do a lot of shenanigans to try to compensate any kind of thing. So it comes very from factory. It's pretty good in terms of what it does. Or if I go, I was thinking maybe a 32-inch monitor. I don't know, but yeah, at this moment they are announcing OLEDs ahead of the CS. Again, it's I don't like at this moment in time. I think for me, wide monitors are not for me at this moment, mainly because of also in terms of productivity. I don't know if it will increase my productivity. The way I use things, I don't need bigger surface or a wider surface. I'm still sticking with the 69 by ratio as a preferred one. But the main thing that OLED has is the time responses there. And now they are ramping up a lot the refresh rates. And of course, color fidelity is very, very good. And especially if you like HDR content, OLEDs is the way to go, that's for sure. But yeah, still a little bit expensive on the high end, especially, and the low end. I don't think it compensates you to get a cheap OLED monitor. I don't think the capabilities are still there. The same way you have to get around getting a relatively cheap IPS monitor. You can get one relatively easy, a good and relatively cheap IPS monitor at these days. Just need to look a little bit, something that it's more to your taste. Again, I don't favor any monitors, even though Gigabyte, in terms of overall construction, from the reviews that I've been watching throughout the years, Gigabyte seems to be the one that balances best price to performance and capabilities and the extra stuff that it can bring on the monitors in terms of functionalities. Like key VM switch, I think it's called, and in terms of color fidelities, it doesn't excel in anything, but it doesn't have like a huge drawbacks. That's my perception. Then again, I recommend, if you're looking for a monitor, if you're getting excited with this OLED stuff, I recommend Hardware Unbox. Especially, they have a dedicated channel now with these monitors unboxed. They last year they went about reviewing 30 monitors. They are pretty good with their reviews, very technical. And I forget the names of the guy. I know one is Steve, the other I forget his name. I'm very terrible with names, I'm sorry. The guy with the monitors gives good opinions, and through his recommendations, watching their videos, I managed to basically choose the one that I have now, which is the M38U. So I'm not I didn't regret the decision that I made here. But yeah, I will try to cover the best I can. CES 2024. I'm not going to stick only with GPUs. I always interested in new things, like for the monitors, even like cases. I don't know if they're going to something appear there. But yeah, anything that it's coming up regarding technology, I will try to cover the best I can. But yeah, till then we'll start to see some teasers here from all kinds of brands. So don't get too hyped here because this is corporation marketing. Even though they might be excellent products, don't. I always advise not go for the hype. Regarding gaming, we got Kojima updates. Again, this is the beginning of the year, so a lot of from these creators and even companies, they are projecting what they want to achieve in 2024. And Kojima's will again, I think it's launching this year. I'm not sure. Death Stranding 2. I think they are still working on ADR, which is automated dialogue replacement. Basically, it's like checking the dialogue if it matches what it needs, or if it needs to be replaced, because again, like is unsuitable for various reasons, depending, like changes on the script or changes on the decisions of the gameplay, and the dialogue doesn't serve the purpose of the situation. This kind of things. And they are then going for the Japanese voiceover recording. It will be in this year. Again, I don't think we got any kind of a launch date for this game, but I'm playing the first one at this moment. I'm getting around. I think I'm still on the beginning, but it's very interesting. The game itself, especially. I think he nailed a little, at least for me, the multiplayer thing there. The way how players interact in the environment and in the game. I think it's so far the way we are interacting is the best way for me. If I'm going to play a kind of a multiplayer game, it's not a multiplayer game, but the interactions you have with other players is very interesting. How he goes about it. Then again, he's also working in OD, the one that was announced on the Game Awards last year. I suppose there's going to be a lot of stuff that is going to be worked on, and of course the Death Stranding moving adaptation, and he's doing a lot of other stuff like writing series and other programs. I think he had a podcast that he basically had to pause because he's got a little too busy for his day, not for his taste, but he got a little too busy to continue with all this thing. But yeah, things seems to be working pretty well on Kojima, which is good. It's always good to have somebody that is more authorish in the way he goes about things and provides unique perspectives and can inspire other people to go along and do innovative things here. We got again, I mentioned this a few weeks ago regarding Hogwarts Legacy, and basically all the drama regarding the backlash regarding the game, it basically didn't work. Again, when it's regarding products, so being games, movies, series, whatever it is, something that is artistic, let the thing speak by itself, the quality of the thing. Because the game itself is pretty good from the reviews and for all the feedback from the players that play the game. The game is very good. It's one of those that I will play eventually, maybe this year, I don't know, depending how things go. But yeah, it's one of the best-selling games, especially in the UK. It was the biggest boxed game, so physical copies in terms of sales. And yeah, sometimes things when you want to boycott for whatever reason, usually when it's not a proper reason that I want to say. I'm lacking the word to express. When you try to boycott something just because you don't like it, or you don't like something supposedly associated with that product, usually you get a backlash effect, which is I saw a lot of people buying extra copies of the game to give away. You just to a certain degree, it's like similar to the Streisand effect. that you get instead of letting things go, take their path. But the fact that the game is pretty good, it just helped to the fact that people were making a huge amount of deal of this game itself, for the fact that it is an IP, and the author of the IP was supposedly, which is not, but the people that were complaining that some, I don't know, I don't remember whether it was something like transphobic or whatever it was, whatever, which is not, but okay. When you start doing these kind of things, usually you just give more attention and more coverage to that, and even if it wasn't a good game, for sure it will sell more than if you didn't even speak to it about it. But yeah, a lot of good games. Also, I think in this regard, Baldur's Gate 3 was the best game of the award in everybody. But yeah, I will cover that later. And again, just a reminder here also, because Valve's Steam, again, it had the support for Windows 7 and 8. Mainly, I think the main reason is basically because the 99% of the platform users that use Steam, they are installed in Windows 10 or in Windows 11. So basically, it doesn't make a sense of just diverting that much resources for them to continue to support installs from Windows 7 and 8. And usually that there was like a campaign a few years ago for you to, basically you could upgrade for free from Windows 7 or 8 to Windows 10. Yeah, and even the hardware, even though Windows 11 can be a little bit heavy on the prerequisites in terms of hardware in some systems, Windows 10, it's still available. I think it's cheap, even though they are Microsoft wants everybody to go to Windows 11. I don't know why. For sure some shady stuff happening there, but Windows 10 is still it's the normal thing at this moment in time. I think if you can upgrade even hardware that runs Windows 7 can basically run Windows 10 to a certain degree, so I don't see any issues. I got a very old laptop, like from 5 years ago in terms of specs. It still runs Windows 10 without like any kind of issues that I can see. It doesn't do anything just for web browsing and like a monitor to like a secondary monitor to support some stuff that I might do in the webs. But yeah, I think it's time for people, at least Windows 10. I think it's a good choice there. And regarding continue with Steam stuff, they managed to announce the games of the years and all that stuff, and of course Baldur's Gate 3 was game of the year. Interestingly enough, the most innovative gameplay award went to Starfield. I don't know if it is ironic or not regarding that, but yeah. And the Labor of Love, whatever it's called, I got here on the Steam, Labor of Love, yeah, went to Red Dead Redemption 2. Supposedly the last update was in 2020, and I think the online stuff is like just refreshers of the content that like the activities and such and events. They are refreshing. They are not putting out anything good. But yeah, best game on Steam Deck, again, Hogwarts Legacy seems pretty good. Outstanding visual style, Atomic Heart, again, from the trailers that I saw, very interesting visual style again, even though it's tried to be a little bit more realistic, but the choices there, especially on the robot side and the environment, seems pretty interesting. Again, it's one of those that I will play sooner or later, better sooner than later. Interesting enough, again, my comments here on most innovative gameplay, it's interesting. I don't know, I don't remember what were the choices here, but yeah, seems ironic, seemingly, because the engine, it's the main problem is not the engine itself, is how they use the engine. I think it's the main issue, because if your most innovative gameplay thing is for you to traverse the scenarios, it's a multitude of loading screens in terms of travel. I don't know how innovative that is, because this is basically at least from Fallout 3. Every time you enter a building or do something, you just have a loading screen fast there on that engine. But yeah, it is what it is. Best soundtrack, I think. I don't remember again the nominees, but the soundtrack of The Last of Us Part 1 is very, very good. It really enhances the story and the gameplay here. Again, outstanding story-rich game, Baldur's Gate 3, and the best sit back and relax, Dave the Diver. I'm very interested in playing this game. Seems to be like a indie hit, even though technically it's not an indie game, I think, because I think it's published by a AAA or AA party there. But yeah, basically in terms of news, this is it. I'm just going through a little bit on the gaming deals. Oh my god, Epic Game Store, the free game there. Now it's 20 minutes till dawn. Seems interesting enough. In terms of gameplay, from what I saw from the trailers, kind of similar to Vampire Survivors. So you got a stage there, you choose a character, it's like a roguelike, bullet hell kind of a thing there. Very interesting. And it's not a very expensive game, but again, it's for free. I always advise you to get around and check daily at this moment. And it's basically the games that are launching are in according to the leak that I covered like a couple of days ago or 3 days ago. I don't remember which one is the next one, but I think if it's not the one that we were kind of waiting, which was, oh my god, I forgot the game. Oh my, I'm sorry, my memory it's not that good, but I know you got a good game coming up. I forget the game for sure. When it comes, I will cover it. Don't worry about it. But yeah, according to the leak article that we saw like 3 days ago, it's on par in terms of the games that are coming. So good game. There is a pretty good game that is coming out, and it's going to be available for about 1 week. Yeah, I don't remember the game. I'm so sorry. But for Steam, again, I'm going to cover like not AAA games basically, which is Jusant. Again, overwhelmingly positive, very art style, very interesting. I'm very interested in playing this game. It's 20% off. It's from late last year. Again, I think it's I think it is Unreal Engine 5, this game. So even though they went for a more artistic, not realistic way, I think it's pretty damn good. Got Dave the Diver, as we mentioned, winner of Sit Back and Relax, 20% off. We got Cocoon. I think he won something on the Game Awards, something like that, and it's 20% off. So you got basically still okay. The deal from the winter sale is still 30 hours, date of at least from the time of recording. Very interested in playing this one. Seems like a little bit mind-bending puzzle stuff there. We got Vampire Survivals. Again, this game is very, very cheap. I do recommend buying all the stuff there. So I think it's this one, yeah. All DLC and OST. So the soundtrack there. Very interesting, this game. Seems very addictive. It's right about my alley. Also, in terms of roguelike, it's it's like a mess by the end of the stages, but yeah, it's one of those that yeah, it's very addictive from what I can see. Sorry. We got also Dredge, excellent game from all the things that I saw. Love crafting environments there. You got the boat fishing kind of a thing that you need to maintain, and the story and the little quests, very, very interesting. And it's 25% off. Also 25% off is Wartales. Again, turn-based strategy. Seems like you got a group of mercenaries going about and do all the things set up in a medieval fantasy kind of thing there, from what I understand. Very positive reviews. Very interesting in playing this game. And it's 25% off also. Got Planet of Lana, a puzzler. I've been covering this one. Very positive reviews. It's like a puzzle game similar to, oh, I forgot the name. Again, my memory is not the best by recalling names of stuff, but yeah, very interesting. I don't think it has dialogue. Everything is like environment. The story is told by the environment, and the characters there, very interesting, and it's 30% off. We got Cuphead. Again, it's a little bit old, this game, 2017, but it's overwhelmingly positive. Very difficult game. Everything is hand-drawn here on the game in terms of graphics, so it's very interesting art there. Very reminiscent of the 20s and 30s kind of a thing there, and it's very technical. Yeah, but it's very interesting. If you like a challenge, I think this one is a good way to go. I think this one, Cuphead and Delicious Last Course, I think it's the better one, because I think it has extra content to play. And again, overwhelmingly positive reviews all over the place since it launched, so I think it's a one to buy. We got also Stray. Again, everybody knows about Stray. Now it's 34% off, so, and it's published by Annapurna. They've been doing a great job publishing games and choosing which games to publish. And I think it's one of those that I will play for sure. Yeah, it got some awards at the time in the year that was launched. But yeah, I'm very interested in playing also this one. And finally, we got Dome Keeper, kind of a base building, a mix between base building, procedural generation, and some roguelike elements, if not mistaken. Again, they, from what I can understand, they have a lot of challenges and events throughout the year. They have like seasons of the sort. But yeah, from what I understand, you got your dome that you need to protect, and you just do things repeatedly, and it's base waved. And yeah, very interesting, and especially the challenges here keeps the game alive from different things. But yeah, it's one of those that I think it's worth it to pay attention, and it's not a very expensive one, and it's 50% off. And yeah, basically this is it for today, guys. I'm just going to wrap up with the plug on my Patreon for extra support. That extra support at this moment in time is for extra storage, for me to be able to get backups of the stuff that I do for my private clients, and also some space for the videos that I do for the channel. And basically that it's it. And I hope you have a full day, and I will see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.